All right, guys, welcome. Looks like we have Garen, Lamar, Lamont, Marilyn, Mr. Wabbit. I think that might be everybody. All right, so today was a little fun. It's all in the rack, all analog stuff here. Well, I guess almost all analog. I also have the 4MS ensemble oscillator doing a little bit of the droning, but passed through a lot of the analog stuff in the rack. Typically, I was using the Newmar module over here for breath, and today I'm using the Microcon. The Steiner Microcon is a DIY kit built by my friend Mark Steiner. I think him and his uncle built him, and sent me one. And Mark Steiner is Niall Steiner's nephew, and Niall Steiner is obviously the guy who invented the Microcon in the first place, as well as the original electronic woodwind instruments and valve instruments. Great guy in the wind synth community, and like I said, Mark Steiner is the one who built me this module. I think him and his uncle built the module, but it's great stuff from a kit. And can get super growly and resonant, and yeah, it's super fun. The big thing about the Steiner Microcon is because it is an old school VCO, the pitch tracking on it is kind of hard to get right. So you actually have a couple knobs here to adjust your volt per octave slope, and you kind of set that, and maybe you give out 3 to 4 octaves range if you set it up real good after it warms up. You can kind of get around it if you do some oscillator calibration and stuff, but it's very temperature dependent and all that kind of stuff. But it sounds super great, I think. And it's only one oscillator, but it has this mode called beat mode, which kind of does this sound in, makes it kind of unison sound in. And from the Microcon itself, I'm actually going through a couple other modules, mainly sorry, we have a TV in the background that's a little bit loud as well. But the Steiner Microcon is going through a couple other modules, mainly a Geranalog Fold 6 module and a Pittsburgh modular local florist, which is kind of a coarse flanging kind of guy. Which has turned up a little bit as well. So overall, though, it just sounds really good. I love the Steiner Microcon. I'm so glad to have it in my rack. It can just get so great. Yeah, the Pittsburgh makes great filters as well, and to that regard, actually the white noise kind of wind sound that you hear is from the Pittsburgh SV1. Let me see if I can get it in the shot here. All right, so the SV1 here has the noise coming in, and it's getting modulated in here from the bandpass. So the noise there is going through that and coming into the rack. And in the rack, I'm getting kind of a long delay and a bunch of reverb from Black Hole. And I think it just sounds, pretty good for a nice background wind sound. And then the actual drone that I was bringing in is from the 4MS Ensemble Oscillator, which isn't doing a whole lot. It's modulated a little bit, but then it gets getting fed into the Bafako Bandit here, which is the spectral mixer kind of guy. So you have 4, basically EQ we can bring in. The different parts, and then you can actually modulate the different bands to kind of get things that come in and out. And you can even replace certain bands with other sources. So in this case, the high band here is actually coming from this guy here, which is a Jolin Lab Tabor, which is a really beautiful module. The colors are getting a little bit washed out here, but this part of the module just is super cool looking. And when I bring that guy up, it's kind of the clicky guy that you kind of hear. Which I'm just kind of bringing in for a kind of noise effect. All right, so all that, like I said, gets fed into the Bandit. Bandit gets fed over to a Pittsburgh modular filter of crows. The filter of crows, here we go, is based on their original Safari filter that was called just the Crow filter. And it has kind of an obscene amount of gain on the input, which is this knob here that you can just crank all the way up to 700x gain and just blast everything out of the water. And then it has your normal frequency and resonance, and it's kind of a Steiner topology. So instead of having 1 in and 3 outs for low pass, band pass, and high pass, these 3 guys right here, you can actually turn on and off the low pass, band pass, and high pass. They get kind of summed together. So you can do things like have a low and a band pass and kind of have a really crunchy resonance. And the other thing that the filter of Crows does that's a little more eccentric is that it has a stability switch. And when you turn that off, the resonance can go super crazy. Yeah, so lots of nice crunchy weirdness in there that you can get. And self-resonant, obviously. Sorry about your ears. Yeah, so that's the drone guy there. I think that's kind of what we have going on here. The drone is then going to, I believe, the Star Lab in this case. I'm not sure if I can get that in frame or not. Oh my gosh, somewhere over here. There we go. All right, so Star Lab down here is taking the drone and doing a nice reverb there. And the local florist here is the module I was sending the lead through from the Microcon that adds a little bit of chorus and flanging and does a real good job there. Yeah, I know most of you guys are not big Eurorack synth heads, but that's all right. I think this thing is great. Lamont asks, is the Pittsburgh tied into Create Audio for East Beast? Yeah, so Pittsburgh and Create Audio are kind of in a business relationship. The guys at Pittsburgh Modular outsourced their manufacturing basically to the same team that Create Audio is doing over in China. To that regard, it opened up a lot of opportunity for them, and I think kind of to solidify that relationship, Create Audio also was able to use some of Pittsburgh Modular's engineering to make a few modules for them and work with them there. And so the East Beast, the West Pest, there's some kind of multi-function module that's red and white that's super ugly, but it is very functional, that has a couple like ADSR type things and LFOs and stuff in there. And then they did a Captain Big O oscillator, which sounded really good. But yeah, so those guys are all working together, and that Steiner filter is present in a lot of stuff, and the East Beast is the plucky low-pass gate stuff, and that low-pass gate circuit, I believe, is the same one that's in their voltage research. The voltage research lab. I think that's what it is. The VRL, yeah. So the VRL has a dynamics controller that has a simulated low-pass gate that's kind of adjustable, all in solid state. And that kind of function generator is what they use to do in the East Beast. I don't have the East Beast or West Pest. I should say the low pass gate was the West Pest. Sorry for the plucky thing. I have a lot of Pittsburgh Modular in my rack. I have the Pittsburgh Modular SV1. I have 3 primary oscillators right here, which are super great oscillators. I have the filter of crows, and then up here I have the dynamics. Oh, out of scene here. All right, so I have the filter of crows, and this is the dynamics back controller, and the dynamics back controller is kind of the Voltage Research Labs sorry, had a cough there. All right, so this guy is a dynamics like low pass gate, but it's all in solid state, so you can adjust the fall time on that. So kind of cool. Down a little lower. Maybe a little hard to see. Down here I have 2 microsequencers, the Lifeforms microsequencers, also from Pittsburgh, which are 8-stage little sequencers. And then to the left over here, this is a Pittsburgh Modular touch controller, which is actually one of my favorite sequencers that I have for like CV style sequencing. And then I have a bunch of drum modules that are kind of put up right now, but and other, I don't know, smaller ones. Oh, and I have a mixer from them. This guy right here is I believe it's 6-channel little mixer from Pittsburgh, from the Lifeform series, the system interface. Great little mixer for in the rack stuff. Yeah, so Garen says, interesting thing too is that on the Create Audio website, they announce some of the Pittsburgh Audio products, not as much from Pittsburgh, but it's there sometimes. Yeah, like I said, they kind of like outsourced their major instrument manufacturing to them. So they're I forget the name of the big sequencer that kind of replaced the SV1. It has the stupid bear on it. The Taiga. The Taiga and the Voltage Research Lab 2, those are the kind of the big synthesizers that they just kind of put out, and those are being made by the guys at Create Audio, as in like manufactured, but the engineering and all that kind of stuff is done from the Pittsburgh Modular guys. So yeah, kind of an interesting relationship there that they have going on. It seems to be working for them. The Create Audio guys apparently have a real good factory deal kind of stuff working over in China that's really helping them lower the prices on the modules over there, and also I guess helping with the microcontroller to hardware interface like team. They have some people going over there. Yeah, so overall I really like the Pittsburgh modular stuff. They have a lot of really interesting modules. Another one that you kind of don't see over here is actually the Flamingo up here, and it's a center clipping module, which is very, very interesting. Can do some crazy distortion type stuff, but it takes like a waveform and it basically clips out from the center, so you can rectify half on the top or half on the bottom, or kind of like lower, like cut out the middle and lower it, and then auto gain rescale it. So it can do some like really crazy things, especially if you get heavy in modulation. But it's definitely kind of a experimental, noisy type of thing that's, I don't know, really fun to play with, but kind of eccentric. But that was all on their Safari module kicks that they've been doing. And I guess back to Pittsburgh Modular, the Safari modules, they're still doing kind of like the one-off, like 200 to 300 modules at a time, and doing those in-house. But the bigger runs of real instruments and stuff, they're doing with the Create Audio manufacturing team. So kind of interesting. Yeah, Taiga also has the keyboard one with it, with big old chunky knobs and stuff. And yeah, I don't know. Like I was trying to say, that the Pittsburgh Modular like audio side, I really like their system control, like the interface to the microcontroller and stuff that are actually like running the digital aspect of their stuff. I just don't think they have a good systems interface design guy. So a lot of it is hidden behind like LED blink codes and weird button presses and stuff. But the SV1 in particular is a very solid subtractive synthesizer, and I'm very glad to have it in my case. And kind of their older school sequencers and their kind of experimental stuff is all super fun. Like I said, I have a lot of Pittsburgh Modular stuff, so no complaints there. Especially their kind of cool filters, like the filter of crows and that kind of stuff. The filter of crows I have here. Then I also have two 4 HP crow filters, which are kind of hard to find now, but they do really great in like a drum rack for like bringing in saturation and stuff, with huge amounts of gain. You can even take like a guitar input and just like output crazy distortion stuff. Yeah, and again, the 4MS ensemble oscillator here is again one of my favorite kind of modules that I have in here as well for dronies type stuff. I wasn't going super crazy with it today, but it's super fun. Anyway, I'm talking a lot about Eurorack and not playing a whole lot, but if you guys have any other questions, let me know. The lead sound that I also had, it was also going from the Steiner Microcon. That is also going through a Doepfer spring reverb. Which is over here, and that spring reverb has a spring tank in the back of my case as well. So overall, I think that does really well. Yeah, so that's my kind of walk through some fun modular stuff today. I'll probably just play a little bit more and head it out here. If you guys have any questions, let me know. And I think maybe worth talking about is the Microcon itself is set up for playing with keys or wind controller, right? So it has an ADSR on top, which I'm kind of just bypassing with my filter control. The filter in this case for the Steiner Microcon is not a normal Steiner topology. The filter in here is actually a Vactrol controlled kind of guy. So it has the heat shrink LED and resistor, photoresistor in there. And it's a little more low pass gatey on the release. But super cool module, especially with the beat frequency and that kind of stuff. And the resonance, like I said, is actually the resonance is customized to be extra crunchy here, outside of the normal Microcon. So you can get into full resonance weirdness. But yeah, the Microcon is great. All right, looks like you guys are talking a little bit about modular. Yeah, ACF Stripe is quite right that it is an immense rabbit hole. I do have quite a bit of percussion modules, which honestly, if I were to do again, I probably would not have so much of. I think I'd much rather do percussion in the box. But I'm trying to keep my rack in this size, and I'm happy about it. Yeah, let me know if you guys have any other questions. I will say that I really enjoy the pitch control to analog stuff in the rack via the instrument. Super fun. All right, I think I'm gonna go here. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Garen, ACF Stripe, Lamar, Lamont, Marilyn. I think that was everybody. Thanks for stopping by for day 14. Almost halfway through, even though I had a week off there for health reasons. Halfway through Jamuary. There we go. You guys have a good one.